Okay, hey you guys. This has been a long awaited and like highly requested Q&A for Ozempic. If you hear noises, it's my pug because I took her bone away because she's being too loud and now she's distressed. So that's that. Glad we got that out the way. Okay, Zaza. Okay, so I have my questions and everything. I asked on Instagram probably a couple weeks ago now because I've been putting this off. But I officially took my first shot for my second round of Ozempic last night. So I figured this was like the perfect timing. And there's a lot to say and there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of things I don't know. I'm just talking about what I do know, and I'm not a medical provider. You don't have to take my advice. I'm not a doctor. I just have to say all this because I don't want to get like sued or something. Not that I think y'all would sue me. I'm helping you out, okay? Okay, so quick little just backstory. I was on Ozempic for 7 months. So I was on this birth control. It's a combination of things. I basically gained 50 pounds in 6 months. So from like January to like July of 1 year, I gained 50 pounds. And around like October of that year, I was like, oh my God, wait, I don't even recognize myself. I feel like I have a new stretch mark every day. Like, what is going on? Like, my boyfriend never even said anything. Like, I don't even know if he realized since he was with me every day, but like, I was like, dude, like, do you not notice that I'm like 50 pounds heavier? Like, this is crazy. Like, and I didn't know what it was. I was very stressed because at the time I was working a lot at my store when I had the storefront. I was trying to graduate college. I was on a birth control that I think was messing with my hormones. Like, I had like just a lot of different things going on. I'm also an emotional eater, but my emotional eating never made me gain 50 pounds rapidly before. Like, it was like something was going on. So I like went to my doctor. I got everything tested. I finally was like, Mom, like, I really think I need to get on Ozempic. And she was like, okay, not that I would need my mom's permission, but like, I can't do anything without my mom's blessing. And so she was like, okay, like, just promise me you'll go get your like everything tested first to make sure it's not something else that's causing the problem. So like, she has thyroid disease, so I had to get my thyroid tested. I got like my cholesterol, like I got like a full blood work panel, and the only thing that came back was like my thyroid was like a little wonky, but not even enough to like have anything wrong with it. So it was like, okay, so nothing's wrong with me, I'm getting on Ozempic. So with the backstory, I'm now gonna get into the questions. I feel like there's going to be a lot of overlap in questions, so just bear with me. I like probably should have put these in an order, but it's okay. Okay, so question number 1, why are you getting back on? So I lost 45 pounds in the initial 7 months that I was on Ozempic. So I told y'all it was November, like I'm pretty sure like 1st that I started Ozempic the first time. And I was on it until about June maybe, because I was going to Italy in July and I needed more money to spend in Italy. So I was like, you know what, I could pause for a little while. I feel really good where I'm at. I do want to lose a little bit more, but I feel like I have changed my habits enough to maintain it. So I like just cold turkeyed it, which that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like wean yourself off of it and like let your body like get used to being off of it. But since I was like, I don't want to buy anymore, I want to spend all my money that I have in Italy, I just like cold turkeyed it. Didn't feel that hard because when I tell y'all, like in my brain, like I feel like my stomach shrunk. I feel like even when I wasn't on the Ozempic, I could not even eat if I wanted to how much I used to. And I didn't want to eat that much because like I used to feel like crap after I would eat. I didn't want to feel like that anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm getting back on because I never planned to like get off. It was kind of like just a sudden decision, and I always planned to get back on because I do want to lose about like 20 more pounds. Like I want to be like, this is gonna sound so bad, but like at the weight I was like freshman year of college. Because that's very doable for me though, because I'm only 23 years old. Like if I was like 30 doing this, I would not want to get back to that weight, but I still want to like feel like myself because I was never like crazy small. I always had very muscular like build. I have very wide shoulders. My dad was like a linebacker in college. I get that from him. So I want to be like back to that weight because that's when I was like my healthiest. Like I was like powerlifting. I made it like, I was like 4th in the state in my weight class for powerlifting. Like I was very, very healthy. And so like, I feel like in my head, that's the weight I want to get back to. And so we'll see. It's all going based on how I feel. So that is why I'm getting back on, because I never like planned to get off. Okay, let's get into symptoms. There's a lot of questions about symptoms. Someone said, thinking of starting it, what symptoms did you have? So there is a lot of different symptoms. I only experienced some of them. So some of the symptoms that like my doctor that I went to warned me about, and we'll get to where I go to after, but the doctor like sits you down if you go to like a reputable place, obviously, and they tell you every single problem that could happen. The ones that stuck out to me were the most were fatigue. It could make you very tired. It could make you lose your hair. Obviously nausea, throwing up, all of that, and TMI, but constipation. Okay, so those are like the 4 main ones that like I remember in my head, like, okay, you have to worry about these symptoms. So Number one was fatigue. I never really felt fatigue on it because I think a lot of people that feel fatigue on the medicine are not eating. Like someone told me, I talked to like my friend's mom who's a medical sales rep for the drug, like for the brand name drug. I'm not on the brand name. And she was like, my biggest tip is that people get on this medication and they think that it's to make them not eat. You still have to eat. You're not gonna lose weight if you're not eating anything. I mean, you eventually will, but like, it's not healthy. It's not the way to do it. You are basically using this drug as a crutch, not a lifeline. So like, I use this drugs to be able to change my habits so that when I get off of it, I would like be okay. And I was. I've only gained, like, I fluctuate a lot of weight, but I like weighed myself this morning and it was 7 pounds higher than when I got off of it 3 months ago. So that's really not bad because some people gain 10 pounds back in the first month, because I'm like confident to say that like it's because they don't change their habits on the drug, which I'll get to that later. So the symptoms, fatigue, I didn't really feel fatigued because I was eating. I was eating a lot of healthy food. I was eating like very clean, okay? 2, hair loss. I didn't really deal with hair loss. I have thick hair. I'm very blessed with that, and I'm very blessed I didn't deal with hair loss, but I like took biotin the whole time I was on it to like try to like combat anything that would happen. Nausea, I literally only threw up when I like went too high of a dose. So like your doctor will probably tell you what doses to do. I buy vials, so I kind of choose what dose I want to do. I started off at 0.1. I went to 0.2, went to 0.3, I'm pretty sure like 0.4, and then like 0.5. For some reason, the jump to 0.5, I maybe went from 0.3 to 0.5, maybe that's why. For some reason, the jump to 0.5, I was so sick that week. Like literally, like I'm pretty sure the week after I went back down, because anything I would eat, I would get sick. Now, even when I didn't do a big jump in the medicine, I found myself like learning like what would make me sick. So like fried food literally would make me so sick I would throw up. If I ate too much, if I ate like a full plate of pasta at like at a Mexican restaurant, an Italian restaurant, I would throw up. Like it's like those heavy foods that like would make me throw up. Now if I ate a full salad with like a whole grilled chicken, I would feel fine, because it was like what I was eating and how much I was eating of it that would make me nauseous. I finally like got like used to it a little bit and like learned what to eat to not throw up. And so I feel like that's just like something you have to learn for your own body, because I feel like it's different for everybody. Oh, and then the last symptom was constipation. So this is like so weird to talk about, but like there like was one story that I heard of someone dying from the drug Ozempic. She was in Australia, and I heard this on a news story, so like do not quote me on this. This is literally like a legend. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to not get sued, but she basically had really bad constipation, because it does cause constipation. I don't know why. And she didn't go to the doctor after not like passing anything for like a really long time, and she died the way that Elvis supposedly died. So it was like very sad and very scary. So when I got on it, my mom was like, girl, you better be on top of that, because blah 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 blah. I would say, like, this is so TMI, I can't believe I'm talking about this on the internet. I would say like the first month I had to be weary of it, and then after that my body got used to it. That's what I'll say. So that's all on symptoms. It's really not bad if you do it correctly. I also like, I went up really slow in doses, so I don't think this is the question, but I'll just talk about doses. My clinic started me at 0.1. A lot of clinics start at 0.25. Now that I'm starting up again, I started back on 0.25. But my biggest tip, and the way to make it the cheapest honestly, is go up as your body needs it. Don't force yourself every 2 weeks to go up in dose. I'm pretty sure I stayed on 0.25 for a whole month, and then I went up to 0.3. Like I climbed up very, very small in dosage. Like the highest I ever got to was 0.75. I'm pretty sure the CDC or like whatever organization that is said that like you never want to go over 1, even though like you can go over 1, but like supposedly it's like not even doing anything if you go over 1. So I highly suggest just like climbing slowly. And honestly, I know someone else that's on it, and I like kind of convinced them to take a break in it because they were on a high dosage, and they were like, I feel like it's not doing anything anymore. And I was like, okay, well, ding ding ding, do what I did. Take a couple months break so your body restarts and like, what do you call that? Like getting used to a drug? I don't know the word. But like I was like, take a little break and then you could start back on a lower dose like I'm doing. Like this wasn't planned, but like it kind of worked out great, because now I'm like on like the maintenance dose again, starting off at the beginning, and it's a lot cheaper that way. So, oh, so this, like I kind of covered this just now. How much weight did you lose? How fast did you lose it? How much were you taking in dose? So I covered the dosage, but you have to listen to your body. Like there was like what do I mean by listen to your body? I was on like 0.25 for like 4 weeks. On that 4th week, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm getting hungry more again. Like I'm not like, it's not helping me as much, stay off the food, blah, 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 blah. So the next week I went up to 0.3. I personally like wanted to go up very slow because I did not want to get sick. It's not fun to get sick. And the weeks that I did get sick, it was like nauseating, literally. And then how fast did you lose it? So the first time around, I lost 45 pounds in 7 months. So I don't know what rate that's at, but typically you'll lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Like that's a very healthy number. And then obviously that being probably like 8 pounds a month. I don't know if that math tracks, but that's what I was told, like healthily 1 to 2 pounds a week. Oh, this is a good question. What other things did you change? Diet, exercise. So like I said, I use this drug as a crutch, not a life raft. I say that to everyone that asks because it's so important that when you're on this drug, you have to change your habits. So like I am an emotional eater. I was eating all the time. I wasn't worrying about what I ate. I was just like eating to survive because I was so busy at the time that like if there was food in front of me, I was eating it because I didn't know when I'd get my next meal. And like there's a lot to go into it because personally, I haven't talked about this a lot, but I developed an eating disorder when I was 14, and it was from like pageants, from modeling, from always being called too big, always being called this, that, whatever. And it was a lot of different factors that went into it. There was a month-long period where I didn't eat solid food for a month because I was on an all-liquid diet. So it's just like, and these were all my choices, by the way. Like I wanted it so bad that I was willing to do anything I could to get it. And once I didn't get it, because like I worked so hard to get there and I was told I was too big, like it destroyed me. And so I just like, it's a lot. I could talk more on it if you want to hear about it because like I want other people to learn from my experiences because that's what I went through them for. You know what I mean? That's why I post on social media. But I was very set on changing my weight. So like the first couple, like probably 2 or 3 months I was on Ozempic, I used Weight Watchers to like kind of help track my food. Weight Watchers and Ozempic need to do a collab. I think they might be doing a collab because that honestly goes together so good because it helps you change what you're eating while you have the help, the crutch, not the life raft of Ozempic. So when I was at my biggest weight, I was about 250 pounds. Never thought I'd say that, but I was like 250 pounds. I'm 200 now and I want to get to like 180, to be frank. So when I was at 250 pounds, I did not want to step foot in a gym. I did not want to move my body. I felt like I couldn't move my body. At the time, I could hardly even cross my legs comfortably. Like it was uncomfortable to cross my legs. So the fact that I'm sitting here right now crossing my legs is like crazy because I used to, like a year ago, I couldn't sit like this. So obviously I was not comfortable to go in the gym. The first couple of months just kind of worked on my diet and worked on like letting the Ozempic help me lose that weight. And once I lost, I think it was the first like 20 pounds, I was like, I feel good again. I feel like myself again. I'm going to the gym. So it's hard to start out. It really is at the gym, but you have to remember to be easy on yourself. So if anything, start getting dressed every morning, every night, whenever you want to go to the gym. I started waking up more recently, not when I was like first starting out of the gym, at 5 a.m. to go to the gym before work because I'm not going to do it at night. I had to tell myself that if I don't get up in the morning and go, I'm never going to go in a day. So I would suggest put on your workout clothes and just start walking outside. It's getting colder now, so like a little more bearable, but get your body in that habit of moving. You don't need to push yourself. I used to like, every time I would start going to the gym again, trying to push myself for like a 2-hour workout and then be like burnt out to where I wouldn't go back. That is not what's best for me. And that's why I'm telling you this. Start off slow. Do not push yourself too hard, okay? It's okay if you're not like lifting 100-pound squats or whatever in your first week at the gym. So start off getting dressed, going walk outside for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Like give yourself the leeway to work yourself into it. And then you start going to a gym. For the longest time, I would go to the gym, literally do 20 or 30 minutes on the elliptical and leave. That was my workout for the day, and that is what got me in the habit of going to the gym and staying consistent with the gym because it was like, oh, I'm just going to the elliptical for 20, 30 minutes. I took that 20, 30-minute elliptical, and then I added maybe a little arm circuit after, and then I added a little leg circuit the next day. Like, just very small. There's so many Instagram workouts. There's so many YouTube workouts. Just work your way up to that. And even still, I probably do only like 20 minutes on the elliptical. And then I'll do maybe an arm circuit and then like an ab circuit. Like I try to like mix it up that way. Like I am still getting there. You know what I mean? It's been a year since I started this weight loss journey in October. So like literally in a couple days. And like I'm still working up to it. That's how like you need to give yourself the grace. Okay? Oh, hey girl. Okay. You need to give yourself the grace, okay? So like that is my biggest tip in the gym is like it's a scary place. There are so many nice people there, but it doesn't matter how many nice people are there supporting you, it's still scary in the gym. I was terrified. I still am. Like, I still like feel a little scared to go on like the weight side of the gym. And like, I literally grew up there. Like, I grew up in a CrossFit gym. I grew up powerlifting in high school, and I'm still scared to go over there because like, I just feel like I'm not like there yet. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing, is like, be understanding with yourself. God, I'm rambling today. Okay, so that was a question. Now, big question I get is, where do I get it? So, basically the medical sales rep that I talked to that like helped me so much to like learn about this, she basically explained it to me like this. Insurance companies for like basically I'm on my dad's insurance for his work. His work could either opt in for Ozempic coverage, or opt out for Ozempic coverage. They opted out. So it's based off of your insurance company. If you could get like brand name Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, like any of that. I'm not on the brand name because I don't have it covered by insurance, and I'm not paying like thousands of dollars each month. It's just not possible for me. I literally use like at one point I used my last money in my bank account to be able to afford my Ozempic for the month. Like, that's how like much this meant to me, was that like, I'm putting this first. So what do? You go to a med spa. There's multiple different med spas. Read the reviews, call around. My mom, sweet thing, called like every place for me because she knows I'm busy, and like found the best price. The best price that I found to start off is in Homa. That's where I got my most recent dose that I started yesterday. It's called POUNDS. Basically, you go, you sit with the doctor, you do a consult, you talk to him, and he basically like gives you all the information you need. And then what I do is I buy the maintenance dose. So it's basically you get 3 vials every 12 weeks for $349. It's going to be a little more for me when I'm not on the maintenance dose, but starting off, like, that is the perfect way to start off. It'll literally last you 12 weeks for $349. Now, you do have to drive to Houma, Louisiana, because they don't ship. You can get it shipped from some places, but it's a lot more expensive, and like, we're saving money out here. You know what I mean? So we're going to drive our butts to Houma. So POUNDS in Houma, they do have a clinic in Thibodaux, but the clinic in Thibodaux only gives you the shot in person each week. Like, so you have to go in once a week to get the shot for the cheaper price. I think it was like starting off at like $160 a month, and then but you could get it shipped, but it's like literally double the price because it's a lot more like hassle, like shipping it to you, like because they have to go through a pharmacy, blah 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 blah, like whatever. So that is pricing. A lot of different med spas do it different ways. Just make sure it's like reputable. Make sure it's not like a scam. Like, you shouldn't go to someone's house to get the Ozempic shot. You know what I mean? Like, make sure it is a reputable weight loss clinic, anything like that. So, are you worried about long-term issues? I personally am not. So, a lot of people were concerned when I was getting on Ozempic about fertility, about it messing with my fertility, blah, blah, blah. I'm not having kids yet, don't freak out. But it has actually come out that Ozempic has helped with fertility. So, people that have been struggling with like endometriosis, infertility, all this stuff for like years and years and years, finally are just like, I'm giving up on kids, I'm getting on Ozempic, and they get pregnant after 3 months. Okay? So, first of all, if you don't want to get pregnant, be careful with that. If you do want to get pregnant, I'm not saying this is like a way to get pregnant, but look into it. It has helped a lot of people. And so I don't think it'll affect infertility. There's a lot of talk about like, what is that called? A paralyzed stomach. I'm obviously not that worried about the matter, but they tell you all this in there too. Like, they tell you all the things that it could cause. But personally, I think that the risk of being on Ozempic would outweigh the risk of being the amount that I was overweight, like health-wise. Like, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Ooh, I recently started drinking caffeine again because I'm a student. Okay, but I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm really not worried about the long-term effects, because like the long-term effects of like the health level that I was at, overweight, like that was bad. Like, my cholesterol was really high. I think that's what it was, like high cholesterol, low cholesterol, I don't know. But like, I was not healthy. I was not okay. I was very tired all the time. Like, I was like dragging, and like just like the life it brought back to me is like worth anything I had to deal with down the line. Maybe that's ignorant to say, but I don't know. I'm a lot happier. I was in my lowest place when I was like my highest weight, and like I would do anything to like get out of it, and I did, and like I'm so glad I'm out of it because life is so much better now. And it's not all correlated to my weight. It was like, this is like such a tangent. It was like, I was at my highest weight. I was at my brokest in life. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And it was just like, I had like, just every aspect of my life was like uncertain and unwell and like its lowest point. And like, I just like couldn't. Why am I like choking up? Bye. Okay, this is important. Tips to avoiding Ozempic face. So like, it's a well-known thing that like, you're Ozempic face, you're a skeleton, blah, 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 blah. So I don't think I have Ozempic face. Maybe y'all think I have Ozempic face. Me looking at my face in the mirror. I don't think I have Ozempic face, and I think it's because I didn't lose the weight too fast, and I still am eating protein. I'm still eating carbs. I didn't cut out any entire food groups, and I didn't lose the weight too fast. I lost 45 pounds in 7 months. That is like a very reasonable amount, I think. I don't know the math on that. But I think these people that are getting Ozempic face are losing the weight too quick. And so like I think they're the ones that are like drooping, because if you lose weight too fast, your skin's gonna droop. Like that is like a fact of life, a fact of science. Just like if you gain weight too fast, you're gonna get stretch marks. Like it's literally just like A plus B equals C. So don't lose the weight too fast. Do it healthily. I promise you it's worth it. It's worth the slower time period. It's worth it, because I got off of Ozempic 3 months ago and I've only gained like 5 pounds back because I changed my habits. I lost the weight slowly. I didn't lose it too rapidly. I know how to eat properly now. So I think that's the biggest thing of like not getting Ozempic face. Okay, a lot of the questions are covering the same thing. I'm just making sure I don't need to answer any more questions. Any advice to those thinking about starting it? So basically this whole video, but I think my biggest thing is like I will say it till I'm blue in the face, because I've seen so many people start it and gain the weight right back when they get off of it, is that you need to use it as a crutch and not a life raft. Like that is my saying. I'm literally like not tired of saying it, but like y'all are probably tired of me saying it, because oop, they're getting sassy, because like it is so important. You cannot be on Ozempic the rest of your life. That is like cold hard fact that you cannot be on Ozempic the rest of your life. Like you need to get off of it eventually, and so to get off of it eventually, you cannot rely completely on it. You have to rely on moving your body again when you're ready at your own pace. You have to rely on changing your diet, eating things that make you feel better, because I promise you guys, like it changed my whole like energy, life, like just my whole life improved when I started eating better. And like I said, Weight Watchers helped a lot with that. I think I was paying like $10 a month, and you basically like log all your food in with like your points, all that stuff, and like there's free foods. Like that helped me a lot. And I feel like if I was starting Ozempic, like if I was doing the whole thing again, I would love to be on Weight Watchers again to start it, because basically how it trained my brain is that there's 0 point food. So like grilled chicken, popcorn, fruits and veggies, those are 0 point foods. Yes, they are calories, but they are good for you, to where they are no points on Weight Watchers. Okay, so like Weight Watchers helped me a lot in the beginning to like learning what I should be eating, what I should be eating, and like it put it in a different perspective of me for calories, because like I said, when I did develop my eating disorder, I was counting calories. I was only letting myself, oh my god, squirrels are fighting out there. I was only letting myself have 1,000 calories a day, and I was like so psycho about calories, to where the point system helped me a lot, because I'm like, okay, this thing is only 200 calories, but why is it double the points of this thing that's 200 calories? Because it's what's in it. You know what I mean? Like I think that's the coolest thing. So I would definitely recommend starting off with Weight Watchers, because it kind of helps you learn the food. She's so cute, right? And I would definitely recommend giving yourself grace. You know what I mean? Like you do not need to lose the weight in a day. It is time. You know what I mean? Like you didn't gain the weight in a day, you're not going to lose the weight in a day. So like give yourself grace. Give yourself grace at the gym. Give yourself grace with eating. Like yes, you're going to not eat perfect all the time. I don't eat perfect all the time. If I'm being completely honest, another main reason why I'm getting on, which it's just a bonus why I'm getting on, is because I found myself reverting to my old ways of eating. I found myself kind of binge eating a little bit. I found myself eating too much. I found myself, when I'm full, still going for a snack just because it was a habit. So I definitely like am not perfect. I'm not completely fixed. I'm never going to be completely fixed, but it just matters that I'm putting in the effort every day and I'm trying, and that's all that matters. I mean, we're all trying in this life. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Okay, there was one more question I wanted to answer. Oh, can you go over the process of starting? Just learned I'm insulin resistant and looking for options. Okay, I will say this. It was such a taboo thing when like everyone started getting on Ozempic. I was kind of late to the train because I was like scared to get canceled. And from the moment I got on it, I knew I wanted to post about it. That's a whole nother thing. But the reason I was so comfortable getting on it when people said we were taking medicine from diabetics is because I'm not. I'm on the compound. A diabetic is not going to take the compound of Ozempic. They're going to take brand name Ozempic that their insurance is covering. Granted, if there's like a dire situation where insurance does not cover it or something and they have to take the compound, by all means, I really hope they have it. But I think that it is more available these days because these companies realizing that like they need to make more of it to keep up with the demand. So that's my thing on that. But if you're insulin resistant, obviously go talk to your doctor, because I don't know if you could take the compound. I don't really know how that works. I was just told that diabetics do not take the compound, they take the brand name. But like I said, I talked about it a little earlier, but like I went to a weight loss clinic. I met with the doctor. I told him my concerns. I told him my history with weight. She's choking. He deemed me a good candidate, and he told me all of the side effects, everything I needed to do, explained everything to me, all this stuff. The first like self shot that I did was scary. I made Andrew do it, and it literally took us like 30 minutes because he was like, I don't want to hurt you. And I was like, it's the smallest needle, like you're not gonna hurt me, like just do it. And like after that I could do it on myself, and it's literally like nothing now. So yeah, I think that is all. I think that's like full, what time is it? I think that's like full Q&A. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer, just like typing them. But Ozempic has changed my life, and by no means am I making anybody get on it or telling anybody to get on it, but I needed it to get back to who I was, to get back to myself, because other factors made me gain weight, and I needed that crutch, you know what I mean? So yeah, yay Ozempic. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. I had a lot of people asking a lot of questions, and then like I just needed to do this long form video because there was so much to say and there was so much to talk about. And I hope this could help somebody, you know what I mean? Because like I needed that help when I was going through it, and I had my mom to help me through it, and like she was like my biggest advocate. And so I'm gonna be your advocate, because you might not have that, or if you do have that, show them this video, educate them. Like I don't know everything, but like I know what I've been through. Okay, I'll stop blabbing. This is a long video. Okay, well I love you guys. Bye. And like I said, let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here for you. We're all in this little life together, you know? Okay, I love you guys. Bye.